So this gentleman has been here a couple of times before, but we've never really focused on his book. So we thought, why not today? We are talking about Sprout, a book by Benihin Walubengo. Benihin, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I really
No,
appreciate it.
Ujava Suti Leo.
Today I decided to wear merchandise.
Okay.
Sprout.
Okay.
We have these hoodies, t-shirts, handbands. So just decided to Sprout today because it's a holiday.
The journey of a dreamer.
Exactly.
And I think it's fantastic.
Yes.
Because that is what we're talking about today.
Exactly.
So for anyone who's just tuned in for the first time and they are wondering, why am I so hype about this young man? Benihin, kindly introduce yourself. This is your camera.
So my name is Benihin Walubengo. I'm a public speaker, I'm an author, and I'm also the president and founder of the Voices of Benny Foundation. I'm a student at Daystar. I study international relations and political science. Yeah, and I'm a child of God.
I feel like there's so many things he hasn't said. Like, I'm just looking at the back of this book. I'm just like, how Jasema PLO Lumumba Foundation, Sana Network, umesema?
Well, I'm the brand ambassador of the PLO Lumumba Foundation and Plan International, Sun Network, advocating for the rights of women. And currently I was also elected last week as the president of DC3, Daystar Compassion and Care Center. So it deals with mental issues and just mentoring each other in the university level.
Great,
yes.
Great.
So right now we can say I'm also a campus student leader.
Hey, I like it. I
Yes.
like it a lot.
Yeah.
And today we are focusing on Sprout.
Yes.
This is your first book?
Yes, that's my first book.
So the second bit of this is already out.
Yes.
But we tuanzie mahali.
Yes.
Because
Let's
we've
start
never
from
really
somewhere.
talked about it.
Yes.
So let's talk about Sprout. Because even from the picture here, you look really young. When was
Yes.
this?
This was this year.
This was this year?
This year in June.
Oh, yes, when I first met you
Exactly.
here.
Yes. That was this year in June.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's when I wrote this book. I just cleared high school in March. Then I sat down in around that period and I just began writing. Yeah.
So I just finished high school and just began writing. I became a publisher. I'm an author. Just what?
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about this. Where did the inspiration come from? Because even the name feels well thought out.
Okay. So I remember when I was in high school, I was in a public school at first. So like there are these letters for funkies that people used to write.
Yes.
Poetries, nini. So I used to be good at them. I used to write letters. So wasa walikuwa wakuja niambia mazuri nakuwa na kizungu na poetry. Andika hii letter nipeleke manzi yangu. So like on one weekend I would have like 30 letters to write for people.
Would they pay you?
Yes, they would pay me. It was 35 shillings.
Per letter?
Yes, 35.
Hata hawezi fikisha 50?
Ilikuwa 35 because now I was looking at the demand. Also the demand was high and I wanted to grab the market. So yeah, and I would also be given sticky notes for free. So I would write. So even during lessons, the lessons that I was not very good at, like let's say chemistry, I will just write letters. So there's a day I sent a letter to a certain school here in Kenya. It was a girls' school, and the principal got the girl reading the letter. So the principal read it, and then she was like, "Hey, who is this person? We shall go to this school."
What?
So we on parade on Monday. I see a principal coming with a student, say, "Who wrote this letter?" So I knew I'm being anaenda kufukuzwa mimi.
Huyo msichana unamjua ama ulikuwa umeandikia mtu mwingine?
Nilikuwa namjua.
This particular letter ilikuwa yako personal.
Yes,
okay,
it was personal.
Great.
So the principal came and said, I read your letter. I'm a teacher of English and literature and you're good at writing. So stop wasting your time writing letters. Think of writing a book. So that slapped her. So she said, I just came here to tell you that. You're really gifted. So just sit down and start writing a book. So most of the time I would sit in class and you know that story of mine of being suspended in high school.
Yes.
So during those suspension periods when I go home, I will just sit down and write. So because now sina kitu ingine ya kudu, and you know now my mom and dad are mad at me, so I can't sit in the sitting room. So if I sit in my room, I just have like to think and write, you know.
Yes.
So I started by writing poetry. I could write them and put them somewhere. Then one day I just read a book by Miles Monroe. I was in Form 3. And that day I remember guys were going for a function. Na jinangu ilitolewa kwa list last minute. So there's a book I had been given and I had never read it. So I read it for the first time. So after reading that book, the thoughts now started coming in. So I could write the quotes by Miles Monroe in a notebook somewhere. Then when I write his quote, I also add mine. So I was like, hey, kumbe this thing hadi mimi nakuanga na quotes. So I said, because I was a deputy captain at that time, I said I'll give one of my quotes just to see how guys will react. Will people clap? How will they act?
Yes.
So I did that, and guys were like, "Hey, mazee, umse amewaza."
Do you remember it?
Yes, I remember. I said that when you look at the sky is invisible, but the stars are so visible. That's how much your dreams are. They might be invisible, but they're also visible depending on where you stand and see. So guys were like, hey, umse amemedi. So when I went to class, guys were like, hey, hebu niandikie kitu ulisema. So I realized, so I can write quotes. So now I began writing my own quotes. Then I would attach stories in my speech. Like in every speech, I would always put a story. I would always put like a 30-second story. I will tell guys, you know what, Rudolph Wilma said that I don't stop when I'm tired, I stop when I'm done. Then I give a story about how she ran and all that. And I'm seeing emotions are sweeping around. So I was like, hey, kumbe kitu mimi naeza. So now I now began writing stories and quotes.
Okay.
Then one day I just sat down and I thought, is my life worth writing about? Because I'm writing stories of other people. What can I find in my life that is worth writing about?
Okay.
So I remembered about great debaters. There's a day I climbed on stage and I had lost the script. I just started speaking. So I spoke. So I said, maybe this story is worth writing. So that's the first story I wrote about great debaters. Climbing on stage, there's no preparation. The team feels like we can't do it. Then I just stood up on stage, began speaking, and my team is like, we can do this. Yeah. Then that's how we won Eastern Region against Meru School, the champion of the region. So that's how I began writing stories now.
And then this came after you finished school.
Yes.
Did you have the little bits and pieces from what you wrote in high school, or did you start afresh now with this after school? And what is it about in here? What are we going to find in here?
So now, what I did, I think the perfect gift of writing, because I've also studied other authors like Chimamanda and many other authors, especially young authors in Africa and also in the world. Thoughts always come in. Like right now that I'm seated with you, this is a book. Every day we live in a book. Every day it's a page. So like this is a book because when I was 16, there's a day I watched this show. That time it was Full Circle with Joyce. There's a time I've watched you now as Mwikali while I was in Form 4. And I said one day I'll be here. And so right now I'm seated here. So the next book that I'm writing, it's a powerful book. It's called The 6 Questions the World Will Ask You. Like, what do you want? Then you'll tell the world what you want and you'll get it. So I'll write a show about Mwikali. One day I wanted and I answered the world and I told it, one day I'll be here. And I wrote and then I was here. Yes. So every day it's a page. So thoughts are always packaged. So you keep them. There's a place in a human being. You see where we keep bitterness, where we keep the memories. That is a place of thoughts. That's a place where thoughts need to flow. Okay. There's a place in the mind where you grasp, information is kept. There's a place in the mind where the things that you'll do tomorrow are kept. Then there's a place where memories are kept there. That's where bitterness is. That's where happiness is. There's always that part of the mind. So when the thoughts come, I always push them there. And I just put them there. There's an idea that I'll get. Then now one day I'll sit down, put some good music, take a laptop and just type them. Okay. So like I'll type them and then just leave it there. Like I don't always purpose to finish the book like today. When you do that, you'll be in a hurry and you won't give your thoughts the right flow. Okay. So you just write, leave it there. Just write, leave it there. Then when you see like it has, the quantity now is okay, you can now talk with the publisher and tell the publisher, you know what, do this. So like right now I'm also publishing for people. I have a publishing company. Voices of Benny does publishing. We also do the public speaking training and stuff.
Wow.
Yes.
So is that your process? Yes.
So you just sit down, get thoughts, and then when you get a thought, you think deep about it, research about it. For example, maybe about leadership. When you get an idea about leadership that you can write about, I'll go and listen to John C. Maxwell. What does he say about leadership? I'll come here in Kenya, read newspapers. What is the leadership situation here in Kenya? Yeah. I'll go and watch some series about leadership. Then I'll now sit down personally so that I don't lose my thought out of all these other facts and statistics. I just go now and sit down and say, what is the original thought that I have? Now, added to what these people thought. Yeah. Are they right? Are they wrong? And what do I have to say about their thoughts, but according to my writing? So then I'll now create time. Then now there's that aspect of creating time.
Yes.
You'll now have to create time. Like this month, I'll be celebrating my birthday on Sunday. Okay. After Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday are my 3 days to write.
Is that true? Am I to sit? hypothetical situation.
It's
but
true.
It's your birthday.
It's
okay,
my birthday.
Great.
I'm turning 20. Yeah.
Happy birthday in advance.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
So like I've put those 3 days, I'll be alone, just writing. So you create an environment for writing. Your room needs to be neat. You can't write in a dirty environment. So your room needs to be neat. You need to be psychologically prepared. You should not be sleepy. You should not be tired. You should have eaten, have fruits around, have some juice, then have some music. Music helps you it helps you compose your thoughts. It helps you just flow and flow and flow. So yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, if I tried that, I'd end up just cranking up the music.
And then there are guys now, there are guys who are not gifted in writing, but they have the thoughts.
Yes.
So what you do now, you look for someone who is good now at writing.
And share my thoughts with you.
You share your thoughts, or you can do podcast and give them the podcast.
Okay.
So it's also easier that way. But there are people who are extremely...
So I just record my thoughts.
Exactly.
And then send them to you.
Yes.
Then you turn them into a book.
Now we turn them into writing. My publisher keeps on saying that a book is a thought that is so scattered, and therefore our work is to put it in pages and make it neat. So that's just that simple. You just sit down and then there are people who are good at writing, but they don't know how to compile their story.
That is so true.
So you just tell someone, you just write it the way it is, bring it to me, then we shall sit down with you now and look at what are we looking at in your story. Then we put it in those phases.
Would you say for you to be a writer, you need to be an avid reader?
Yeah. You have to, especially now it depends with what you are writing about. But for me, I would advise people to just read anything.
Okay.
Because you'll read about leadership, but you see in leadership you can speak about leadership in so many different ways. You can use science to explain leadership. You can use technology. You can use religion. You can use food to explain about leadership. For example, if you put rice, when you start cooking rice, of course you'll put some water and all that. Then after that you don't see the water, you only see the rice.
Yes.
So that's preparation. That's packaging yourself in leadership. So you can use food to explain leadership.
What happened? What happened?
You'll have to boil. You'll put some rice.
Yes.
Then you'll have to boil it for some time.
Yes.
Then when it boils for some time, now the rice will come on the table. But you won't eat the rice alone. You'll have to look for some stew and all that. So that's leadership. When you are in leadership, you'll have to package yourself. That's now the water. That's the rice. Then you'll have to undergo the boiling. That's preparation. Then after that, it will come on the table. You'll take it with stew. That's a team. You'll have to compile something with a team for it now to be presentable. So you can use food to explain leadership.
Benihin Walubengo, guys. We're going to take a very short commercial break. Eventually, we'll talk about what is in this book at some point today. But don't go too far. Send all the questions that you may have when it comes to matters, writing your own book, getting a proper publisher, what to look out for, 111 444 111. That is our SMS line. We'll be right back after this break.